Also, here's a new one. This is from Seth Dillon. This is the CEO of the Babylon Bee. The CEO of the Babylon Bee. Fight bigotry. 98% of straight men are unwilling to date trans women because of hatred. This has to change. Trans people are not saying this. Trans activists are not saying this. This is not something that is happening en masse. In fact, if you are surprised to find out, this is a 4chan op. Talk about two quick stories here. First, in relation to Libs of TikTok, Twitter's hateful conduct policy prohibits accounts whose primary purpose is inciting harm towards others on the basis of these categories. Libs of TikTok's account primarily exists to promote hate towards LGBTQ people and their allies. Throughout the summer, Libs of TikTok is fixated on anyone promoting the pride flag or mentioning pronouns. These tweets only serve to promote Haya's hatred of LGBTQ people, while her followers harass the people she features. The rationale for the hateful conduct policy explicitly states that the purpose is to protect marginalized voices, to prevent abuse, and seeks to silence those voices who have been historically marginalized. Despite this, Libs of TikTok's tweets often silences their targets. The harassment and intimidation is part of the point. Libs of TikTok often mocks accounts for having to go private as a result of the harassment from their followers. Some of them have deleted their accounts. This silence in the voices of LGBT people is the exact same thing TOS seeks to prevent. By the way, Libs of TikTok will block you so fast if you point out something that starts to get some traction. Libs of TikTok once posted a video where she uploaded it. She uploaded a video that someone had filmed inside of a kid's bathroom. Inside of a kid's bathroom at a school where someone is visibly inside a stall. That is disgusting. Like, that is a person filming inside of a kid's bathroom while kids are going to the washroom. Libs of TikTok uploaded that video. When I pointed that out, Libs of TikTok blocked me. So yeah, if Libs of TikTok wants to brag about how, oh, look at me, I'm big and powerful, I can harass this fucking trans teacher who has like 300 followers into blocking me because they don't want to have the fucking assault that comes from my community going after them, cannot handle it in the other direction. Like, not even for a fucking second. As soon as you point something out, Haya's like, oh god, scary. Oh, I don't like harassment. It doesn't feel good. And that's why, by the way, my philosophy online has always been to bully the bullies. Like, the internet should be a safe experience for everybody. People should not be fucking harassed and bullied and, you know, have horrifying lives just by virtue of intrinsic qualities related to them. So if someone is being bullied and harassed for being black, if someone is being bullied and harassed for being indigenous, someone is being bullied and harassed for being bi or trans or whatever that is, those are the assholes. Those are the bullies. People who fight back against that are trying to liberate everyone and their experiences, to make it better make the entire internet better for everyone. And bullies are often cowards, you'll find. I still have not blocked one person on Twitter. And I hope that's going to be my track record. I want to keep going and use that also as a weapon. The hateful conduct policy explicitly states that accounts cannot spread fearful stereotypes about a protected category or imply they are more likely to take part in dangerous or illegal activities. This is exactly what the groomer libel does. Haya deletes quite a few tweets, but they are archived. She repeatedly calls LGBTQ people groomers, especially when the parents are of trans kids. She explicitly called them out to be prosecuted. And also the hypocrisy, right? It's like, on the one end, we don't agree with cancel culture. We're for freedom of speech. Please don't shut my Twitter account down. I want to continue to be able to do stochastic terrorism against fucking children's hospitals and stuff. Please, just let me keep my little hate Twitter account. But on the other end, it's like, I want to get this fucking teacher fired because they're gay. I want to get this teacher fired because they're queer. I want to get this teacher fired because they're trans. I want to have this person lose their job because they're trans. I want to have this person lose their job and all that kind of shit. Throughout the summer, events highlighted by Libs of TikTok experienced in-person harassment and violence, especially by Nazis. Libs of TikTok tweeted about Coeur d'Alene and 31 neo-Nazis were arrested, intending to riot at a pride event. Proud Boys and Christian nationalists protested outside of a Dallas drag bar that Libs of TikTok put on a mega thread. They yelled at the police to go in there and put bullets in all their heads. It also had Christian fascist John Doyle saying a whole bunch of fucked up stuff, including that he is a Christian fascist and proud of it. In Woodland, California, a drag event highlighted by Libs of TikTok had to cancel the event due to threats. Despite this, Proud Boys showed up and attempted to enter the venue, forcing the staff to use pepper spray to defend themselves. More recently, Libs of TikTok has decided to move on from drag and pride events to focus on attacking children's hospitals. As a result, several tweets spreading misinformation about gender-affirming care. BCH received several violent threats and the FBI had to get involved. These are just some of the most egregious examples. It's clear that this account exists solely to propagate hate against the LGBTQ community and incite violence against them. The recent threats against the BCH are just another manifestation of the hate and violence Libs of TikTok stokes. So this is one side, and it's a really good thread, by the way. Alejandra Caraballo has done a great job putting this all together. Also, here's a new one. So, This is from Seth Dillon. This is the fucking CEO of the Babylon Bee. The CEO of the Babylon Bee. Fight bigotry. 98% of straight men are unwilling to date trans women because of hatred. This has to change. As in, this is, I guess, something that trans people are putting out. Oh, it's an actual trans rights campaign. Yeah, so they're saying, if you don't date a trans person, you're transphobic. So every single one of you has to date a trans person. So this is kind of an older trope, all right? It is a little bit overlapping with bottom preference. Now, here's the reality of the situation. You don't have to date anyone you don't want to. And if you don't want to date someone, that doesn't make you transphobic. Trans people are not saying this. Trans activists are not saying this. This is not something that is happening en masse. In fact, if you are surprised to find out, this is a 4chan op. So 4chan does things like this. They will create and produce content that they want you to release and put out there. And when you do it, they want to use it to try and sow anger and let's just say get people more angry at trans people. ITT, we spread this image and similar messages around the internet and claim how horrible it is that the majority of straight men will not date T-slurs. Why? Number one, to push normal moderates towards the right. Number two, to get leftist onions thrall that pass for men to start dating T-slurs for our own amusement. Watch the media further damage their credibility trying to defend this. 100% an op. It's an op. And the Babylon Bee, I would assume, I'm going to say fell for it, but maybe not. Maybe just was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to put this out there. So, yeah, great job, Babylon Bee. Now, here's the reality situation. If you don't want to date anybody, you do not have to. That's up to you. Personally, for me, I would have no problem dating a trans woman. I would have no problem dating a trans woman who had a penis. I would have no problem dating a trans woman who did not have a penis. It wouldn't really make a difference to me. I happen to be bi, so I guess this isn't something that also has the deep concern for me, but I would date a trans man. Well, I wouldn't actually date a trans man because I don't date men, but I would hook up with a trans man. But I'm just saying, that's up to you. It's your own personal preference. You get to decide what you want and you get to do it. If you're openly, consistently saying out loud, all the time, if you're just like, hey, by the way, everybody, just so you know it, I would never date a trans woman. Yeah, that's what I'm about. I'm super straight. I'm so straight, I wouldn't date a trans woman, you know? That's because, like, well, then, yeah, you are inching kind of closer to transphobia there, because you're trying to make that a point of bragging, as if, like, I'm so good and I'm so cool, I don't date trans people. Then yeah, then you're inching closer towards that. But there's nothing forcing you to date trans people if you don't want to date trans people. That's just not a thing. They're trying to turn it into a thing, and it has been tried a couple times. That's when I'm sure a lot of people heard about genital preference and the debates that ignited around there, whether or not people were allowed to talk about their genital preference. And if you talk to trans activists, which I would recommend in most of these cases, because that's what I did when I was a little confused as a cis boy, trying to learn what exactly is the deal with genital preference. Is it okay to talk about it? Overwhelmingly, every single one told me, no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you having a preference, and you may not be someone who does not want to engage with different kinds of genitals that you're not comfortable with. There's nothing wrong with that. It only crosses over into transphobia if you start making it a point of affirmation and bragging. That's the difference. That's it, you know? I'm so straight, I have to tell everyone how straight I am. I don't need to be questioned about why I have to profess it so much. Oh, well, that's the other thing, right? And also it gets into biological essentialism. You're starting to think and add the fact that, hey, by the way, gender is directly associated with genitals, which is also kind of fucked up because we've moved past that with our understanding of gender identity, gender presentation, all those kind of things. So yeah, this is an op. It's an op for a purpose. You know, this is it. Turns out we trans folk don't want people to date us who don't want to date us. Weird, I know. Same thing applies to gay people. I remember back in the day, straight dudes, used to say all the time, it's like, fucking, you know, I don't want to go to a gay bar because I'm just worried that if I go to a gay bar, every single gay guy is just going to hit on me. And I just don't want every gay guy trying to grab my dick. And I just would be uncomfortable because I'm not gay because I love the puss. I'm really straight. I'm super straight. And then I was just thinking to myself, I was like, gay dudes don't want to date homophobes. They're not interested in them. I know there's a whole mythos of, like, you know, getting the straight guy or converting the straight guy, and there's a lot of porn and gay porn related to that and all that kind of stuff. But deep down, no, gay guys don't want to date homophobes. It's just the way things are. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demmel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.